Welcome to Focus Today. Steve here with you along with Polina. It's great to have you in the studio here.
Hello.
You know, we hear a lot about people who, for whatever reason, it might be an emergency or it could be a long-standing problem where there may be some sort of a transplant that needs to take place or some sort of medical procedure that occurs. Now, you heard of a boy in Southern Oregon who needs a kidney. Give the background. How did you even hear about this?
Well, I met this
situation?
family last year. His mom, Jenny, and Noah. I met them at a neighborhood party. We happened to live just a few blocks away from each other. And I fell in love with the little boy because he's the cutest thing ever. And then
and how old is he?
He's 2 years old.
2?
A little over 2.
Okay.
And his mom was telling me his story. And then as we were getting to know each other, I learned that he is in need of a life-saving kidney transplant. And his mom, I saw last week, I went and sat down with her and interviewed her about Noah. But I think the story I'm about to play for you is about her as much as it's about her son.
Wow.
Because her faith, in the midst of all the troubles they had to go through, is so encouraging. And I think anyone, even if you don't have children with disabilities, even if you don't have a child who needs a transplant, when you hear her words and her faith, I think you'll be inspired.
Okay, so this is Noah and his family, right?
Noah and his mom and Janie.
All right, let's see it.
Noah James is a happy little boy. He loves airplanes, music, and animals, and spends lots of his time outdoors. But his daily life is a struggle and is different from that of other 2-year-olds. 3 times a day and for 9 hours overnight, Noah is hooked to a feeding tube.
He was born with end-stage renal disease. They think it was about stage 3 or stage 4 of a 5-stage process. Stage 5 is when they're in dialysis, and so he was, and they knew this was going to happen. That they knew that he was going to have some kind of problems when he was born.
Noah's mom, Jenny, always wanted to be a mother. While working in Korea, she went to her 18 weeks ultrasound appointment. That's when parents find out the sex of their
Problems right now with that video. We'll see if we can get that fixed. But so far, you're telling us of Noah, who's 2 years old now.
He's 2 years old.
When was he diagnosed that he had this kidney problem?
Well, when Jenny was pregnant, she was working in Korea. She was an international teacher there. So she went to her 18-month-old ultrasound appointment. 18 weeks old.
18 weeks,
ultrasound appointment. And that's when parents find out the sex of the baby. So she goes there, they do the ultrasound, and then the doctor says, oh, he has an enlarged bladder. And Janie says, it's a boy? Because that's all she was thinking about. She didn't even know if it was a girl or a boy. It's only 18 weeks along. So that's when they found out that something was wrong. And actually the prognosis, the diagnosis, while Noah was still in the womb, was a lot worse than it actually happened to be. They thought he was going to have some other problems. He was born with a kidney disease, and there's a medical term for that, and right away doctors said that he has to have a transplant eventually.
Really, that early they knew that would have to
they knew
happen.
that he has. I'm not sure.
And so when, I'm just curious, I'm trying to get a timeline. He's only 2 now, so when did they say he'd need a transplant? Did they know
right
that
away,
at birth?
He was, even though he was a big kid when he was born, a big baby, he still had to do be a few weeks in the prenatal, you know, that special place where kids go when they're born prematurely.
Right, okay.
So he was there. They knew he has problems. I think she tried feeding him a little bit on her own, but then they realized that he can't take any food in.
Is that
so
right?
Now he's being fed through the feeding tube every day, 3 times a day, overnight. And then
wow. That's got to be a problem right there.
Yeah. It's you know, a big burden and of course an inconvenience, but it's the way it is. That's the way they have their life set up. So about the year, when he was 1 year old, he reached that point in his weight when he was able to now be qualified for the transplant. They did all the tests, they did all the blood tests, they did all the other tests that have to be done, and found out that Jenny is a donor. She can be a donor,
That's
a compatible donor.
His mother.
Mom, yeah.
I mean, an adult can be a donor of a kidney to a small child.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
So, and the good thing is because now he doesn't have to be in line, and so many kids wait in line for such a long time to get a kidney.
So a small child like that can get the kidney of an adult?
Apparently so, yeah.
So is this going to be happening then? I guess it will be.
They're planning to have it done before he turns 3, which will be next March. So this next few months, it's very expensive.
Is it?
I think one kidney transplant is $75,000. And then he has to be on medication for the rest of his life. And so their goal to raise...
so it doesn't get rejected? Is that the idea?
Yeah, and just to keep him going. So he's always going to have something different about him for the rest of his life. And financially, it's been very hard for the family. She's a single mom. She raises this child with special needs. So their goal is $200,000 they want to raise before they go forward with the transplant. I think they're almost halfway through. About $75,000 is what they have.
Well, that's encouraging. When did they start the campaign? Do you know?
I'm not sure exactly when they started,
Probably
but
within
I think
last year or so. Yeah.
Jenny is part of the First Presbyterian Church in Jacksonville, so they've done a couple of benefits there. They've done some other campaigns, and one of the organizations that is helping them is called COTA. It's Children Organs Transplant Association.
COTA then. Okay.
Yeah, and what they do is they find families who need transplant, and they help those children, those families, find volunteers, find resources, organize benefit events. So they're helping Jenny and her family to find money for Noah.
So what's the best way for somebody to get involved to find out more about this little guy?
The best way would be go to the website www.COTA4NoahJ.com.
COTA4NoahJ.com.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll, if you need that, I realize you may be driving around, we'll have that here.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry we couldn't play that video. We had some problems with that. We'll have that posted, though, on our website, won't we?
Yes, we will.
And that'll show you the whole story of Noah and his family and where they're at right now, right?
Yeah, and I love what she says at the end of the, I had a long conversation with her, and Jenny said, if I had to do it over again, I would do it, even if having him the way he is was meant to be. And I'll probably ask God not to do it. I'll ask God to change things because it's hard. It's hard on him, it's hard on me. The dreams change, the expectation change. It's not what you expect of your life, that you'll be raising a child with a feeding tube. So she's a very strong woman, very faithful, and tomorrow she's inviting everybody to attend a gratitude gala at the Red Lily Winery. So what they want to do is invite everybody who's ever participated in fundraising efforts and thank them. But if you've never had, you can also show up. For this, there'll be tickets, $20 a ticket, and you get appetizers and a glass of wine, and then there'll be silent auction where money will be raised.
Fundraiser that way,
it's a fundraiser.
And they still need to raise $100,000, it sounds like.
A little more than that, yeah.
Okay. All right, good. And the website again is COTA?
COTA4NoahJ.com.
Okay.
And if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see that story there, or on the Dove YouTube page. It's there as well.
Yeah. All right. The and it's like 12 minutes long.
The story itself about 8.
8 minutes. Okay. So you can be joining us for that. That's great. Good. And that's, if you haven't been to the YouTube page, go to the YouTube page and then go to the Dove TV and you'll see it there. Or you can go to our regular Dove page, right? The Dove.us, and it'll be there
everywhere.
either way. Yeah. So take a look at that. That sounds fascinating. Well, thanks for letting us know about that and keep us up to date with the status they have.
Sure.
Hopefully this weekend's event will be a big one.
Hopefully, and keep Noah in your prayer.
Yeah. Hey, coming up, we're going to be talking to Lori Cardozo-Moore. She's with Proclaiming Justice for the Nations. The whole controversy about the Mount in Jerusalem. It's a place where the Jews have really worshipped for years, and now that's starting to change a little bit. We're going to get the backstory on that and where she thinks this might be going. For those of you who are, of course, interested in the state of Israel, you want to stay tuned for this coming up here on the Dove and Focus Today.
I'm Polina, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.